Hello, beautiful friends. Thank you for being here. I want to share this quick hodgepodge of a message that was coming through, and I felt guided that it would be helpful for you. So, just kind of diving right in, I feel like this is going to be a reminder for a lot of people, but I feel like it's an important one. Is like, what is success? Especially in this age that we're going into, I feel like there's still so much programming that success means being like wealthy or popular or this old fashioned things of like what it means to make it and be successful. And there's nothing wrong with these things. But I just want to remind you that true success, especially now more than ever, is really just being in your heart and being happy with yourself and being satisfied with yourself, seeking the heaven within. And when you do that, naturally outside of you is going to reflect that heaven. And it might be that traditional idea of success, but it might not be, because it's all connected to like going into this new age. We're literally going into the age of Aquarius, and I'm very connected to the age of Aquarius, to the energy of Aquarius. So I understand that it's like it's all about being a visionary, and it is about many times doing things differently. Like, we're not here to just regurgitate what already has been. And like, so I just want to encourage you, because when you do this and you go within and you start creating your heaven on earth, not what they tell you it is, not what your poor ego has been conditioned into thinking you need to do to be successful in the eyes of society, but what is your actual definition of success, of feeling whole, of feeling happy, of feeling satisfied in your daily life? That is actual success or fulfillment. And again, when you seek that within, it will naturally mirror around you. And another thing about being a visionary, which I feel like we all are, when you seek that heaven within, a lot of times, at least in my experience, like, you're going to have to break a lot of like traditions. Like, you're going to break a lot of old paradigms and old programming. And maybe not, like, a lot of traditions, there's a reason they exist, and there's nothing inherently wrong with them if that's a part of your method. But I'm just saying, if it's not a part of your method, in my experience, trust your guidance, trust your inner self, trust your heart. Because I know in my life there's so many things where I am not following the traditional method. And like, I guess it in a way would make sense to, but it's just not what my heart calls me to do. And so I've learned to really honor that and trust that, because it's honestly the path for my greatest good. So I just want to share that, because part of being a visionary, which I believe we're all visionaries, we're all, there's all this programming about diversity, to the point where it's almost a cringy word of like, oh, diversity, because it's like we live in a crazy matrix thinks that acts like diversity is about your skin color or your gender or these physical attributes, and that's literally not even true at all. It's we are extremely diverse, because we are all unique. We all have a unique soul blueprint. We all have a unique life, unique experiences, unique purposes, unique ideas. We're not meant to all be the same at all. We are all from different star systems, different experiences, different realms. We are all have our own, and yet at the same time, we were all cut from the same cloth, so to speak. But we're all unique fractals of God's source. So we don't need to all be following the same cookie cutter stuff when it's just not realistic, and it's not fulfilling for everyone. So just remember that, remember to follow your heart and what you're doing right now. And, another message that comes in is that, you think of like, and a tiny acorn contains the whole tree. And it's the same thing with you and your soul's blueprint. When you start like really surrendering and asking your higher self for guidance, because everything that is arising for you, every single thing that is arising for you, is for your greatest and highest good. When you start to really see it that way and accept the lesson and learn the lesson, honor the lessons. And when you start doing this, and again, that's part of seeking the kingdom within, is doing that healing, doing that inner exploration, and being more creative. that's when you really start aligning with, healing and activating your soul's organic blueprint, letting go of these things that no longer serve you, and just, in a way, just observing, what is calling to your heart, because the heart is your center, the heart is your guide. That's how you can really discern what is on your highest timeline. If you're here trying to be on your highest timeline, which if you're watching this, I'm sure you are, why wouldn't you be? To me, that's the most fun, that's the most enjoyable timeline, that's the most liberating and fulfilling timeline. Come into your heart and follow your heart's guidance, and it might not, you might be asked to break traditions and old ideas of doing things. You don't need to have this to do that, or this to do that. Like, all these things our ego thinks we need to be successful. And I feel like, to some degree, we all understand this. I feel like if you ask anyone, they know that, they would say, yeah, success isn't just about, fame and money. And there's nothing wrong with those things. There's nothing wrong with those things, but that's not really what success is, really. Success being something that actually fulfills you, that actually, just brings you that feeling of wholeness, and again, satisfaction and gratitude. And you have to find that within first, and it will reflect outward. And like, another thing is, like, don't be afraid to dream big, because my guides are always telling me, dream big, dream big, dream bigger, dream bigger, because we are creators. So it's like, you don't have to play small either. Like, I think there's going to be a lot, there's a lot of us that will attain these things of whatever, like wealth and, having huge communities and stuff like that. A lot of times we can feel these huge plans that our soul has in store for us. And a lot of times I feel like the ego will want to cling to that and be like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this. And I've just learned time and time again that it's really such a process of following your higher self, you know, and trusting what's arising, because the lessons you're learning, it's nothing is meant to punish you or stop you. And this is another thing. I think we all have PTSD because we've been on earth for so long, and it's like, it's just such a jungle. But I'm telling you, we're in a new age, we're in a new energy, literally. Age of Aquarius, the visionary. Like, that's what Aquarius is all about. It's the most inventive sign, most like humanitarian energy, like being very unorthodox, being very unique, letting your freak flag fly and trusting it, honoring it. Um, I don't know. So that's the message I really just wanted to come out today, because again, we truly are so diverse. We're not meant to be all the same. It's like, that's such an old paradigm. And then this new energy, like, I can't emphasize enough, just like seek that kingdom within, because your currency is your frequency. You can already see this, but more and more you're going to see it. Is like, that's your genuine wealth. That's your genuine currency, is how, your frequency is, how much love you have for yourself and for others. That's true heaven on earth. To me, that's true success, because that's something that no one can take away from you, and you wake up with that feeling every single day. And when you have that vibration, attracting money, attracting people, attract these things, it's like, it doesn't define your value or your worth, but you can do it because you're a creator being. So beautiful, so beautiful. So I think I already said this, but again, just don't be afraid to forge your own way, to find your path within your heart, because your blueprint is already there. I would say, like, it does require work, it does require discipline, it does require you to do these things, but not so much in this like toiling way of like that old 3D matrix, but in this way of coming within and just feeling and healing and aligning yourself. So I hope this is helpful. Beautiful, beautiful people. Let's see if there's anything else. You've got this. You can do this. Apply this to your life and whatever you're doing, because this applies to whatever you're working on. Um, yeah, let that Aquarian energy just like flow. It's so beautiful. It's just different. It really asks us to be brave and to to follow our unique path of heart that's going to be beautifully unique for all of us. And you can do things that maybe your ego doesn't really believe it can do. But in this new energy, it's different. You know, it's tangible. You see it more and more every single day. So follow your path of heart. Don't be afraid to, again, you know, there's all these programs of like, you have to do it this way, you have to do it this way, this is how you do it, this is how you do it. And that might work for some people. But if it's not calling out to you, find your own path. Don't be afraid. You got this. Nobody knows you better than your higher self. Every single thing that's arising, again, it's not meant to punish you. It's meant to teach you exactly what you need. And in fact, a lot of times the things we think are our biggest obstacles will be our biggest catalysts. And the less we resist it and the more we just have humility and learn the lesson. Have humility, be humble. You don't have all the answers. You are always going to be learning. So have humility. You are a student of life. It doesn't matter how wise or experienced you are. You are always going to be a student of life, and your higher self is always going to be taking you to the next level. So have humility and learn the lessons. You don't have it all figured out. You know, let your higher self show you what's possible beyond what your ego imagined, because so many new doors are opening up for us. So again, just find your own way, find your own path, find your own self, find your own success, and it will mirror around you when you find it within, because it's already here, it already exists. Okay, I love you all. Have a beautiful day. I will talk to you later.